So let's start by asking, what is your name and what is the organization that you are associated with?
My name is Orlando Buonastella, and I work for Injured Workers Community Legal Clinic.
And can you give us a description of your involvement with the injured workers movement?
I've been involved for some 45 years, um, uh, and my history with the Injured Workers Movement parallels what happened during all these years. There's been ups and downs, and we have a rich history of resistance and of fight back and of asserting our rights.
Many people who haven't experienced an injury or an illness at work are unaware of what injured workers have to go through. What would you like them to know?
Be prepared. The system is working fairly well for short-term injuries. That is, if the employer accepts the injury. But it does not do a good job at all. In fact, it does a miserable job when the injury is permanent. Uh, uh, and so injured workers need to be aware that the struggle is going to be uphill if their injury is permanent, and they need to seek representation for their individual case, but also come together as a community to make sure that the system returns to its true purpose, which is to help the injured workers, to help the family of the injured worker, and to make sure that society or relatives and friends do not have to support the injured worker. The system must. The injured worker has given the best to the company and should now be helped, not hindered.
So, what are some of the most serious issues that cause injured workers stress? And also, what are some of the solutions you see to solving those issues?
Well, the main issue is that injured workers have become seen as a cost, as a money expenditure for a system that is not supposed to be concerned about the money it spends, but it's supposed to be concerned about how to best help the injured worker. So a permanent injury is often seen as a burden on the system, a burden on employers. Instead, it should be seen as an occasion for the system to show how it cares for the injured worker. And the injured worker should have the back of the WSIB. So the solution is to ensure that that actually happens. Instead of an insurance for employers, the system should be a system of compensation, justice, and support for those who have given so much to the economy of Ontario. Now that they're injured, they're not a nobody, they're still a somebody, a very important somebody.
And just for one more question, what are some of the successes or improvements that you've seen because of organizing or fighting back?
The fight back in the 80s brought about important changes, important positive changes. For example, we now have an independent appeals tribunal, which is very important to injured workers. That was set up as a result of hundreds and thousands of injured workers coming together and saying, we need protection, we need justice and fairness. More recently, there's been improvements for the compensation of migrant workers, the compensation of workers with back injuries who have to wear prostheses and belts and supports, and other changes. All of the changes have come as a result of community engagement, community and injured worker and labor coming together to assert that injured workers are humanity, that injured workers are not a cost, they are an important part of the justice system of Ontario.
Great. Thank you, Orlando.